Fennel. What the heck is this? This is one of the most bizarre vegetables we have around, but yet this entire plant is edible. Believe it or not, this is a member of the carrot family. Unfortunately, well, not fortunately, the bulb is actually grows above ground, and obviously you have stalks, and then you have these fronds as well. It is a perennial herb. It flowers. Fennel pollen is actually quite an expensive herb as well, so they do harvest that. This plant was originally indigenous to the Mediterranean, and now it's widely grown around the globe. And it's one of those things that I've been really kind of frustrated with, because sometimes it's got really too much of aromatic for a lot of recipes that I use. I've tried to grill it, I've tried to do everything with it as well, and I've come up short. Now with soups and things, when I shave it really tight with the mandolin, it actually works really well. The aromatic flavor calms down a little bit based on obviously the stock that's in, but it's still something that is a love or hate for a lot of people. And if you're a fan of food and cooking like I am, you get a lot of recipe books and magazines, and one of these I always get is Cooks Illustrated, which I always talk to. These guys are awesome. They're from America's Test Kitchen. And I saw this little recipe here, this thing I wanted to try. This is why you should roast fennel. Now I've roasted fennel before and it didn't work. And so I'm like, okay, let's give this a shot. So let's get started. For this recipe, we're basically gonna only use the bulbs, and we're gonna put them into wedges. The stalks and actually the fronds can be used as garnish. Stalks I actually use in stock and soup. So to make it easy, just do that. We'll take care of that later. How about that? Since I can't see, all right. So we're gonna keep this in wedges. So you always cut through the root end of a vegetable like this so it won't fall apart. All right, and in this recipe, what they want you to do is actually mix it with a little bit of salt and water. And I think the salt is used to actually break down the fennel a little bit. So we're actually gonna put we have 2 tablespoons of water. We have a teaspoon of kosher salt. And you see it got a different mixing bowl this time around. Basically, I'm just gonna mix up this salt to dissolve a little bit. And then I'm going to throw our wedges in. And the reason why I like this mixing bowl is because I can do this. Ooh. Of course I spilled everywhere, that's fine. Remember, I'm doing this sitting down, so I'm not used to doing this sitting down. That's okay. It's the fun of doing videos, folks. Stuff happens. All right, so there's that. Now we're going to take 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. I believe I have some grapeseed oil here. Put that in. And we have a little bit of pepper. Just gonna sprinkle that over. And then we do our tossing. This time I'm not gonna spill anything this time. How about that? See, I didn't even have to get my hands dirty. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna put this onto a cookie sheet. So I'm going to get my hands dirty. Wedges cut side down. All right, and then the recipe calls for steaming this, which is actually interesting. I've never done that before. So we're going to just drizzle anything we have left in the pan. We're going to cover with some aluminum foil. Make sure it's tight. All right, now this is going to go into a 450-degree oven for about, I think, 20 minutes. And then we're going to take the foil off. And then, so after it steams a little bit for 20 minutes, it's going to soften up that fennel really well. And then when I take that foil off, then it's going to turn into a roast where all these vegetables are going to get nice and brown and get a nice char on the outside. So 20 minutes, 450, take the foil off, and then roast for about 10 minutes until it gets nice and tender. All right, folks, after about 30 minutes, we are done with the fennel. After 20 minutes, I took the foil off, and then I I actually roasted it for 5 minutes, and then I just flipped the other side of the fennel to get another surface area for the fennel. As you can see, it's got this beautiful, nice browning on the fennel. Now, while it looks great, the true test comes next. So, Cooks Illustrated actually suggested a couple of toppings like Parmesan breadcrumbs, a orange honey dressing, but because I am a big fan of my salad dressing. So here's my salad dressing maker. I have a 3-to-1 ratio of oil to a honey ginger balsamic vinegar and some bear smoke mustard sauce. So I'm actually going to try that on my fennel. I'm just going to drizzle it on and see what we got here. Here comes the moment of truth, folks. It's tender. You know what? That's pretty good. That aromatic is really softened, and the dressing really makes it work. So, good job, Cooks Illustrated. Thanks for the recipe. I'm actually going to add this to the rotation. Eat, drink, savor.